Could Gordon Freeman have stopped the Combine during the 7-hour war? Now I know the first thing the Half-Life fans are gonna think is, Gordon was in stasis, he couldn't have interfered. But I'm proposing an alternate scenario where Gordon Freeman was free to fight the Combine with the rest of humanity. After Half-Life 1, could Gordon have survived and stopped the Combine, or would he have perished along with the rest of humanity? Now before we get into all of that, I ask that you please like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get into the video. I believe the stronger argument is that Gordon Freeman would not survive, and I'll split this argument into 3 main points. First of all, I believe that a lot of people downplay just how powerful and effective the Combine Empire really is. The Combine are in possession of countless worlds throughout countless different universes, realities, and dimensions. Every time they conquer one of these worlds, they assimilate them into the Empire, absorbing their unique powers, technologies, and intelligences. The Combine Empire is not only incredibly large and powerful, but is constantly growing, most likely at a logarithmic rate. Something I think a lot of fans rarely think of is that the initial Combine invasion and occupying force was a lot larger than what we see in Half-Life 2 20 years later when Gordon shows up in City 17. In military strategy, you actually need a rather large occupying force to completely occupy and subjugate a sovereign state. You would need an occupying force to insurgent ratio of about 20 to 1,000 to hold, say, a country. So imagine what that ratio would be on a planetary scale, which is likely why the Combine herded humanity into cities and installed the suppression field so quickly. When the Combine initially attacked Earth, they were bringing their A-game and had access to all of the resources from other worlds they had already assimilated. In Half-Life 2, we're only seeing the after effects of that. The Combine military presence on Earth is way weaker than it was during the initial 7-hour war because they've already subjugated and genocided most of the humans. In fact, the 7-hour war and the Combine's subjugation of Earth was so successful that they just started turning regular humans against the human population instead of quartering soldiers from one of the Combine's many worlds. These being Metro Cops and Combine transhuman soldiers. Now Metro Cops and the Combine soldiers may be pretty menacing sometimes, but you gotta realize that these guys are being souped up from humanity to be that way. From this, I can infer that the forces that initially attacked Earth were way beyond what typical humanity is capable of, necessitating the human soldiers to be enhanced to be more comparable to that force. So while Gordon Freeman may make quick work of Metro Cops and elite Combine soldiers, there's no guarantee that he would have made such quick work out of the Combine's initial combat troops, who may have been better trained, better suited for combat, more intelligent, or just straight up more powerful than anything from Earth. Also, the main motivations and threats Combine soldiers receive if they fail to kill Freeman: permanent off-world reassignment.
Citizen notice. Failure to cooperate will result in permanent off-world relocation.
We can extrapolate from there that some of the other Combine worlds are way more hostile than Earth. The mere fact that the Combine Empire has these worlds implies that they also have better soldiers or better equipment to deal with these hostile worlds, meaning that the Combine do have way worse things out there that we just never saw because they were used quickly during the 7-hour war and then were not needed anymore. And lastly, even if you want to say that Gordon has defeated extremely powerful alien entities and thus elite Combine troops would be nothing to him, I want to point out that even the most powerful entity Gordon ever battled, the Nihilanth, has audio where he tries to appeal to Gordon by saying that he and others of his species were slaves and that he himself is the last of his kind.
Their slaves we are, their slaves we are. Last, I am the last.
Obviously, the Combine didn't exist yet in Half-Life 1, but retroactively, it's pretty obvious that they were likely the ones behind the enslavement and genocide of Nihilanth species. I take that as meaning that the Combine were able to overcome or overpower anything the Nihilanth species was capable of. I'm not very convinced that Gordon Freeman's skill with a crowbar is in the same tier of power of that of a whole species of Nihilanth. So all in all, I believe that if Gordon Freeman was present on day 1 of the 7-hour war, or I guess hour 1, he would have had to deal with Half-Life 2 times like 1,000.
Miss Vance, you wouldn't need all that to imprison Gordon Freeman.